This is Dr. Pham with the Reach Center, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about muscle tone. Sometimes when we think about muscle tone, we also think about strength. They are in fact different. Sometimes it's hard to delineate which is which. Muscle tone is basically resistance to passive movement. So we all have muscle tone, and there's sort of a kind of typical muscle tone. And some people have low muscle tone or hypotonia, low muscle tone, so there's less resistance to passive movement. This sometimes can look like kind of a curved back and sitting, a posterior or backwards tilt of the pelvis. Some kids will have collapse of their feet onto the ground. Some kids will have a little bit of a lag of their head when you pull them into an upright position from laying. Those are some of the common findings in the setting of low muscle tone or hypotonia. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have hypertonia. This is high muscle tone or increased resistance to passive movement. And there are a couple different types of high muscle tone. Spasticity is a very common type of high muscle tone. This is a velocity dependent increased resistance to range of motion. So velocity dependent increased tone. So basically you have to give velocity in order to find or appreciate spasticity on exam. And so if you were looking at spasticity, for example, in the elbow flexor muscles, these muscles, you would hold on here and give a quick stretch to see if there's any resistance with that quick stretch and flexibility through the elbow joint, and you're looking at those elbow flexor muscles. So that is spasticity. Dystonia is another type of hypertonia or high muscle tone. Dystonia is also a type of movement disorder, so it's a little bit different from spasticity in that way. And dystonia is sort of a contraction of muscles that results in some sort of abnormal posture or movement. Dystonia is something that you can see, but you can also feel it. It is not always there. It goes away when you sleep, for example. It increases when you're excited, when you're upset. If you are sick, sometimes it goes up. And so those are the two most common types of high muscle tone, spasticity and dystonia. Less common would be rigidity. We see this more often in adults than we do in children, and I have seen it in more severe brain injury. Rigidity is not velocity dependent. It is also a type of hypertonia, but there's no velocity dependence. So there's resistance throughout the range of motion, and when you stop, the joint stays where you leave it. That is sort of rigidity. And of course, there's increased resistance to that passive movement because this is a type of hypertonia. So hopefully that clarifies hypotonia, hypertonia. You can have them both. We will oftentimes see hypotonia through the trunk, hypertonia in the extremities, and a mix of the two. So they are not sort of completely separate. So thanks so much for listening. Hopefully this helps to clarify hypotonia, hypertonia, muscle tone. Thanks so much for listening.